we've got Congressman John Sarbanes. This is his district, Democrat from Maryland. Congressman, thanks for joining us. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you.
Tell us a little bit about the effort with the state and the federal government to combat the rising water, the rising sea levels, and what's going to happen here in the next 20, 25 years.
Yeah. Well, over the last few years, there's been a real partnership between the federal, the state, and the local governments here in Maryland to address this exact situation, these rising waters that we're seeing on a recurring basis. So the federal government has contributed dollars to help with the resiliency projects here at City Dock, so you can kind of push back on these events. But we have to keep at it. I mean, we have to have a sustained focus in order to respond to this. We know climate change is increasing the incidence of this kind of thing. So it's got to be a team effort, and it definitely has been a team effort here in Annapolis, no question.
And certainly the news in the next couple of weeks is going to come out of Scotland with the big climate conference.
Yeah.
And the president's over there.
Well, and you know, you're trying to gather up a consensus broadly, globally,
right,
to address these situation of climate change, which has led to more disruptive weather events. You know that better than anybody else has.
Exactly.
You're keeping track of it. This is an example of what happens. So we've got to anticipate these events, build resiliency, but we also have to contribute to the broader effort to try to address climate change so that over time we see less of this.
Yeah, so the extreme events are, I'm out in this, and it's insane. The extreme temperatures, extreme rainfall alone has just been off the charts over the past couple of years. And just a month or so ago, we had the 3-inch rainfall rates an hour in New York City. You saw what happened there.
Well, you take the rainfalls, these intense rainfalls, you combine it in a place like this with the tidal flow,
right,
and you get this result. Mm-hmm. And you know, there can be days when the sun is shining. It's shining now, but just over the course of the year, the sun is shining, but you got 2-3 inches of flooding happening because of the tidal situation. So there's a lot of factors at play here, which means we have to have an all-hands-on-deck response to it, and that's why you need that federal, state, local cooperation going. I really have to give credit to Director Williams, who's with the Office of Emergency Management here in Annapolis, and Mayor Buckley, who you spoke about, who've been mounting this consistent response to what we're seeing today.
Yeah, you told us yesterday they're going to be installing more infrastructure,
yeah,
and raising the height over there, so that should really help in the days and weeks to come. We appreciate you stopping by Annapolis.
Great to see you.
Yeah, Congressman John Sarbanes, this is his district in the state of Maryland. And once again, the water is still up. As Congressman Sarbanes mentioned, the sun is out, so it's not always because we have a hurricane. This was a strong wind blowing up the bay. It's still blowing up the bay, but not as strong as yesterday. So the tides, although will be higher than average, and we're going to have water in the streets here until tomorrow, it won't be as high as last night. I mentioned the 4th highest on record, and about 2.2 feet below the bellwether, which was Isabel here in 2003. Molly?